everybody, welcome back to Resin. Today we have a fun and exciting experiment to do. We're going to be using a couple of different mica powders, a couple of chameleon mica powders and a couple of super chameleons, and we're going to be using this mold and also this little nine tails mold, okay? And those both came from, I believe, Amazon. I think Temu carries the same molds, but for today, you could probably try this on any mold, really, as long as it's got a way to cut off the bottom here, okay? So what we're going to do is, I thought it might be fun, and maybe somebody's already tried this before and they know already if it works or doesn't work, but I have not tried it, so I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bit of this little, this is called South Beach, okay? This is a chameleon powder. And you know what? I think I'm going to have to lose my gloves for this so I can open these packs. Now when you order chameleon powder, or when you order these mica powders from Glitter and Crafts for You, they're always really wonderful about including these little scoops, okay? And that's probably just about right. I'm going to do one. Ooh, that's really pretty. Can you see how glittery that is? Two. Ooh, I got some static cling going on. Sticking all the way to the side of my cup. Okay, so we're going to do 2 scoops of that for now. And then this is Amethyst and Jade. And this is a chameleon powder, regular one. And I'm going to do 2 scoops of this. 1, 2, and then this Dragon's Eye, which has turned out to be one of my very favorite super chameleon powders that they carry, and I just reordered a larger jar of this, so I'm going to go ahead and put a scoop in there, actually maybe 2 scoops in there, and also of this Bourbon Street, which has kind of a purple tone to it. Thought these colors would kind of blend well together. Ooh, that's kind of one big scoop. I think I'm only going to just do that one big scoop of this one because it has a lot of a purple to it, and I don't want it to overpower the rest of these mica powders. So I'm going to just kind of shake this together, maybe get a popsicle stick here. Better put my mask on real quick. I see powders are flying. You don't want to breathe in mica powders. Do you see what we've got here so far? It's not very much, but I'm going to take this amount and it's going to go into our little bear here. Okay, I'm going to just pour it in. It's about, I don't know, enough to cover it's enough to cover his head there. So now what I want to do is I want to take something that's going to, maybe this. It's just something to cover. It'll cover his whole bottom half here, and I'm gonna just hold it firmly. You don't want it to slide around, and it looks like it won't. Now I'm just gonna shake it. I'm gonna see if I can just shake the mica powders all over. Oops, I got a leak somewhere. So that it just covers the inside of the bear. So on these places, on these kind of molds that are kind of hard to cover the whole thing. Looks like it's doing a pretty good job right now. Need a little bit here in the foot. Oops, got more on my hand. I'm kind of making a big mess. But that's okay, that's kind of part of the fun of trying something like this, right? I can clean it up later. Okay, make sure I've got them all covered. Looks like I do. Holding it kind of firmly, but I don't want to squish it, so I don't want to make extra holes. I'm going to give it a good shake again. Okay, so now I'm going to pour the excess back inside of here. Give him a good pat on the head. I kind of got his body all kind of stuck down into my water bottle. Get my excess out of there. And wow, wow, look at that. He is pretty well coated. I mean, it's kind of messy around the side, but that's all right. Okay, so now, let me get a baby wipe real quick. So now we've got about this much left. This mold is a bit bigger. So I might add just a tiny bit more of something else in here. I'm trying to decide what would be good in there. Oh, did I already add this? I did. I added South Beach before, but I think I'm going to add a bit more of this in here. Okay, I just dumped a bunch in there. And I think I'm going to add a few Let's Resin mica powders. I'm going to add some of this blue. This is a chameleon powder also. Now I'm making up more than I'm going to need here, obviously, but might not be a bad thing just to have a few of these left over for doing something else. And I'm going to add just a bit of Wang's golden mica powder. Yeah, this is just regular. This is regular mica powder. There is not a chameleon powder in this. Just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of a, just kind of a little bit of a gold shimmer in here. Okay, guys, this is kind of like a graveyard, if you will, of mica powders. You know, when you were a kid and you were getting a soda out of the soda fountain or a drink, and then you mixed all the drinks together, the Coke and the 7-Up and the root beer and everything. Well, that's kind of what I feel like we're doing here. And I'm going to probably speed this up so it's not loud when I stir this up. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pour this into our little nine tails thing here. Gosh, they look really similar in color. I wonder if I could do something to make this a little bit of a different shade. What do you guys think? I need to add something else. Maybe some more, maybe like some more blues or something, huh? Maybe I add just a bit of more regular Let's Resin. I feel like it's still kind of that dark purple. I'll put a big blob in there. I would like for these two molds to have a little bit of a different look to them. Okay, that definitely gave it a different hue. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pour it in. Okay, so these are done, and what I'm going to do is I am going to go make up some resin so that we can pour these, and I'm going to turn my air purifier on to really get rid of some of this extra mica powders. I don't see any, but there's probably likely little ones floating around in here. If you try something like this at home, please make sure that you wear your respirator mask or something, because you do not want to breathe in mica powders, okay? It's really important that you stay safe when you're using this. Okay, I will be back after our resin is all mixed up. Okay, I've mixed up my resin and I've added some Let's Resin black mica powder with just a bit of dark blue, and I mixed it together with this 8 ounces of resin, and it made it kind of a really pretty, almost a, not quite a silvery black, but kind of gave it a really pretty tone, adding the blue. Now we're going to go ahead and pour our guys. So we're going to start with this one first because it's a bit bigger. Normally I would spray alcohol. In here to make sure that I don't get any bubbles. Like there's little eyes in there, but because I've got the mica powder coating in there, I'm going to have to do it a different way. Just put a bit in. and then come down here to where his eyes would be, here. I can see his eyes here and here, and so I can see if there's any bubbles in there. I can kind of squish them around. Okay. And I'm going to set this in front of my cooling fan because I'm going to pour this all the way, and it might be a bit deep. I'm using JDiction for my epoxy resin, and I feel like you can pour it pretty well, but I'm pouring it really full, so just want to be kind of careful not to get a flash cure. Okay, I'll set this aside for just a second. Try not to squish it. Okay, and then I don't think this is going to be enough for this little bear, but we're going to give it a try. And I kind of pour, when I'm making this bear, I try to kind of pour it at an angle to make sure that we get up underneath the chin here, because bubbles tend to get trapped in there. So if I pour it like I'm making a little bowl, it definitely helps with that part. Pour it at a bit of an angle until that's all filled. And yeah, that's good. His ears look good. Okay. Gosh, you guys, I made up exactly 8 ounces, and that is literally just about perfect to do these two molds. Not much left of that. Just a little bit left in the bottom of this cup, and it pretty much took all of it. Okay, I'm going to give this a quick spray. And top this off just a bit. Okay, wow, I can see all the different colors kind of all swirling around in there from all of those different mica powders that we use. Wow, I'm super excited to see how this turns out. By doing it this way, never tried it before, so we'll see it, we'll see what happens all together here. Might have some bubbles still kind of tending to come up. All right, you guys, I am going to set these aside to let them cure, and then we will be back to demold them, and I'm just going to watch them for bubbles here every now and then. I will see you when it's time to take these out. I'm so excited. I'll see you then. I am back with our little molds here to see how they did with our put the mica powder in and shake up the mold and see how it goes. So maybe we'll just go ahead and start with this smaller one here. I definitely see the mica powders. It's nice and cured. I had to put it in my curing machine for just a little while just to kind of help it over that hump of getting it to firm up a bit. But now it's nice and firm and it's definitely cured. So let's see how we did. I see the blues and the purples and the greens all coming up out of this. Got some just some little thin overages here. They're just kind of falling, they're kind of just flaking off. I'm gonna take them off real quick so that they don't fall down inside of my mold. Okay, good enough. And this part, I feel like the head on this thing is always a little bit tough to get out of there, but I don't want to use any alcohol if I don't have to. There we go. Got them out of there. All right, everybody, let's see how it did. Here we go. Ooh, it's pretty. So it worked. The actual experiment that we did was actually not even really as much of to see what colors we would get. It was more to see if we could get the mold to coat without having to turn the mold wrong side out and paint it. Okay? So it definitely worked. It looks like every little bit of him is covered, and you can see all the faceted areas, and gosh, the glittery part, the metallic part in him, you can definitely see literally all the colors we put in there. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera that way exactly, but yeah. Okay, so I would call that a success. It worked on that little guy. So now let's see how this one did. This is the Nine Tails, and I actually had made one of these a couple of weeks ago where I did turn the mold wrong side out, and I did paint it, dry paint it with the mica powders. So I'm anxious to see the difference, and I brought that one over here so that we can look at them both and kind of see, you know, if there was much of a difference, which I'm assuming there will be, because the other one has individual colors on the tails. But let's see. I just really want to make sure that this one got covered as well, the mica powder. I see the different colors up here in this part of it. Some of the super mica powders, super chameleon powders are coming through. Fold this down a bit here. Like I said, I really don't want to use, I just need a little bottle of water in here. The only thing I've got in a spray bottle right next to me is my alcohol, and I'm really trying not to use that on my molds. It hasn't hurt my molds at all, but I've definitely noticed it making a difference on my project. It leaves the resin piece really kind of sticky, and it's hard to get that off. But anyway, okay, let's see how this worked. Here's the back of him. Oh, I see a little bit of a difference right here. I'm not sure what that's from. I don't know if it's picking up there or not, but it almost looks like there's maybe a bit of the blackish blue coming through. But gosh, that purple, that is really pretty. It almost looks like the color that would be on a sports car or something, you know. Really pretty, that metallic. And oh gosh, yeah, look. That did a really amazing job covering literally every last little bit of him. I'm not too sure that it didn't do a better job than it did when I used the paintbrush. I mean, it really, really is pretty. I mean, if you don't mind having it be all one color or all the little purple metallic, I can see the pink and the blues and definitely the, oh my gosh, and the purples coming through. It's just actually really pretty color. Okay, so now, I don't know if I showed you this one straight up or not. Yeah, here they are together. So we can see the difference in the colors, quite a bit of difference since we added so much blue to this one. Okay, but I would definitely say it's a success as far as doing the shaking method. Now let's check out the difference with this one with the one that I did when I turned the mold wrong side out and painted it, okay? So now on this one I used the mica powders. I don't think I used the super mica powders, okay? But I did come in and I painted each one, and I used just the black. But as you can see, there was, even though I covered it all pretty well, you can see I've actually got a few spots here, if you can see, where it didn't cover really all that well. It did, but then, you know, I don't know if it was when I poured that some of the, maybe some of the mica powders came loose. I mean, this piece is still really pretty. Really, really pretty. So you can kind of see the difference here, and even on the front, can you see the pieces, the parts here and up here where the colors kind of blend together, but some of the black is there. But yeah, this little guy turned out really pretty. I was really happy with him, and I'm really happy with this one too. I mean, it is all one color, except you do have a lot more of like the different colors coming through his whole body because of combining all the mica powders together. And this one is more of a metallic look. So yeah, either way, it works great. You just got to make sure you're filling this up with a dark pigment, black, maybe a dark blue, but really I like to stick with the black pigment to back up these colors. So anyway, guys, this is it. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you had fun kind of trying this out. I'm going to bring you down for a closer look at these guys so you can kind of see the colors a little bit better. Okay? All right. Well, thanks again, and I will see you all next time.